everybody, and welcome back to Rise of the Podcast. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Kara.
And I'm Brownie.
Ooh,
A little ASMR.
I was going to say.
Do. I like it.
I'm just going to talk like this for the rest of the podcast.
Oh my goodness.
I will kill you.
The ASMR podcast.
You're both killing me right now, and I will not engage in this ridiculousness.
This tomfoolery.
Yep.
I mean,
Anyways, it's post-Blizzard, post-Duluth Blizzard 2019.
we survived.
We survived. This is going to be the storm
Somehow.
that they talk about forever.
Not really. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. It's just,
Just has a lot of snow.
the city of Duluth, however.
Handle
Here
it like
we
a bunch
go.
of chumps.
Oh my goodness! Like up to 3 or 4 days after the blizzard, some streets were not plowed.
So the blizzard started, it was supposed to start Saturday morning at 6 a.m., and it didn't actually start till about noon.
Noon on Saturday.
There was kids, everybody, that didn't even go to school until Wednesday, and some schools were even closed on Wednesday. That's how
Yeah.
many people were not plowed out.
Yep.
Well,
That's
like,
mind-blowing.
when did they start plowing, did you say?
So here's what happened. They started plowing, I guess, until like 2 p.m. Then they called it at 2 and didn't start again until 6 a.m. Sunday. So for the first how many ever hours of the storm, they hadn't plowed. And by that time, it was already over like...
During that point too, it's main road. It's the highways and the main roads.
Yeah. Yep.
They're not even bothering with the side streets anyway. So why stop?
Right.
Right. Well, okay, so where I work is on First, which goes right in front of the hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't plowed until Wednesday morning. The route to the friggin' hospital.
Better hope that ambulance has 4-wheel drive.
Seriously, I was like, what? Like, I had nowhere to park. There was no parking on the street whatsoever. It was basically just a track right down the middle where people had just driven down.
Yeah, just ridiculous.
And then
And
the
then-
city of Duluth is like, it's because you guys didn't adhere to the no travel advisory.
Yeah, that's total BS. It shouldn't take
is.
4 days after the storm is done because, oh no, we drove.
Right. Well, I like that's how they try to shift blame. It's just the funniest thing.
Well, here's the thing. Hospital workers have to get to work.
Well, yeah,
Like-
just because there's nobody's traveling recreationally. I guarantee you everybody who went out didn't go
Yeah.
out just because they wanted to go for a drive.
For
Right.
funsies.
They went out because they had to.
Right.
And then so they were let down by the city of Duluth on the day of the storm because nothing's plowed because they're lazy.
Yeah.
So my friend Andy is very, very cynical, and so he was replied to a post, and somebody had said on the thing, "Well, I don't understand why the city of Duluth couldn't just tell businesses to shut down." And Andy replied, he's like, "This isn't Russia."
Well, no, that's true. It's like that you can't. The municipality can't just say you're closed.
Right.
Right? They're expected to provide a service. That's like
Yeah.
why we pay taxes for that.
And there are some services that have to be run. It's like
Absolutely.
they're like hospitals, for example. Like
The
obviously,
police, the fire
yeah.
stations.
Yeah, so
you know?
all those basic things. Anybody who works for like the like power company, or
Yeah.
most people that work for the power company are necessary.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, in particular, line people who have to go and like deal with the
Yes.
lines themselves. But then it's like you need people back. Like taking phone calls, updating outage maps, doing all that stuff. Like the logistics of those things. Like people have to be in places. And then, can you imagine the riots if there were no open gas stations for 2 days?
It would be
Right.
ridiculous.
You know,
It would be ridiculous.
like there are
But
certain.
if you were adhering to the no travel advisory, you wouldn't need gas.
Yeah, it's like there could be a war on just outside of Duluth, and people would still not adhere to a no travel
I
policy.
know. I know.
I understand we're getting bombed, but gotta go to work.
Gotta get to my job.
Because here's the thing: like they're not gonna say, "Oh, you don't have to pay rent for the
Right.
4 days that you didn't get to go into
Right.
work."
Well,
or
let's be
anything.
real. It's the holidays.
Or even,
You know?
Chris, or if we were under siege, landlords aren't going to just let you live rent free because we're being attacked.
Yeah, like I understand that it's World War III out there, but that's no excuse to not have the rent on time.
Now, please pay up.
Yeah, so it's just absolute malarkey. I couldn't believe it.
It was ridiculous.
The news stations at the place where I work has to stay open.
Yes.
Right.
You know, people like there would be riots in the street again if people would try to turn on the news to figure out what's going on.
Well, everybody, yeah, we're not here to tell you about what's going on.
Is this gonna be that screen of like the colored lines or whatever?
Does that screen have a name, Chris?
Oh, it does, and I don't know what it is.
Okay, that's okay.
I know that they're the NTSC color bars.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
Can I
So-
use that to color correct my footage?
Technically, yes.
That's awesome. There you go. That's cool.
You'd have to have an NTSC graded reference card to shoot. Mm-hmm. But then you can compare as shot to the NTSC bar generator that is inside of Premiere Pro, actually. If you go new bars and tone, you get the doot and the...
No way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so...
Scrap the intro, throw that in. We'll do that when the channel... This isn't like... This is just me saying, but the channel shuts down. We'll just post one video of that for like 10 hours straight.
We'll do a live stream of that.
One weekend,
No, that's not saying anything. I'm just being funny.
I was gonna say
It's
the
a
weekend
joke.
I have end up with the flu or whatever. That will just be our podcast for that week.
No, it'll just be you in that spot. It'll just be boop.
Yeah.
Right?
Right there in 3D space.
Yeah, just take a picture of me and have my outline just those colors.
I can do that.
That's funny.
That's not the hardest thing in the world.
Chris is...
I
Chris can do it.
I photoshopped Jeremy into that chair when he was in New Orleans, and you guys thought it was weird. So
I like the moth. That was pure.
Yeah, the
comic
moth,
genius.
the moth.
And the full-size Han Yoda Shrek.
Yeah, Han Yoda Shark was pretty great.
well, I mean, you took like a 90K image of that thing. Like that was scaled down to fit on there. The thing's a quarter of an inch tall, and he sends me something that you can put onto a billboard.
Ask and you shall receive.
A 900 megapixel image.
No, that'll be probably. I think Han Yoda Shrek should be like. What would be the copyright infringement on? Could Han Yoda Shrek be our intellectual property if he looked like that? If we like hand drew him, or would it be? What's the deal? What do you think?
Man, I don't know.
Why don't I just draw a Shrek with Yoda ears and...
See, now you're too close to Shrek then. You have to draw a Han Yoda Shrek, which is not an actual thing, patent pending. And
Right. It's on there first. But it'd be cool to have a Han Yoda Shrek t-shirt. I would absolutely wear a Han Yoda Shrek t-shirt.
I'll come up with something. So I've been at home. I've been...
Oh, talk to Chris about that new Adobe
Oh,
software.
so apparently, I'm quite excited about this. I was, so I have Adobe Fresco on my...
Fresco, I'm not familiar with
It's
this
a
one.
it's a new thing. So it's like Procreate. Do you know what Procreate is?
I do not. Well, I know what it is in the sense.
Oh, yeah, not Procreate, Chris. Not the birds and the bees. No, Procreate is it's just like an art software for
it's the
art
one
app
that
for
auto
your-
time lapses everything you do
Yep,
in it
that
as
one.
well.
Oh.
So
okay.
I've been using Procreate, but then Adobe came out with Fresco, which is like Procreate, but you can make vector images of your
Ooh,
drawings.
sick. That's
Right?
awesome. Vectors are where it's at.
Yep.
Yes, it is. I agree 100%. So I kind of want to get into animating a little bit. I want to see if I can mess with that just a tiny bit and kind of get good at it. You know what I'm saying?
Sweet.
And so I was trying to download more vector brushes from Adobe onto Fresco, and I came across Adobe Character Animator.
I am familiar with that.
You are? Okay.
Yes.
Have you
So-
used it? Is it new or is it old?
It's a couple years old.
Really?
So from what I understood from reading it, you can just draw something and then animate it.
Yes, there's like preloaded characters in the thing, but
Okay.
it's basically supposed to be like a shortcut tool for doing basic animations. I don't even want to say basic, but a shortcut for being able to do animation. Like the meshing or wireframing is supposed to be done for you if you're trying to do 3D animations. If you're doing 2D stuff, like the I can't remember what they're called, but like the nodes and stuff are supposed to be really easy to place to be able to do your animating.
So you can draw your own thing though and put it in there.
I'm
and,
pretty sure that you can.
Because
okay.
what it looked like too is you could do you can get your drawing and then put your nodes in there, and then on a different screen put your nodes on a live cam and then move your mouth.
Yeah,
and it'll like track it onto the.
yeah.
face.
There is a live tracking feature, which is pretty sweet.
That's pretty cool.
So I kind.
You guys remember the episode of Black Mirror where there's a guy that does that? He
one?
plays he's like he plays this character, like it's an animated character, but like it's just a camera capturing his face, and he like has like these gloves that he wears for his hands, I think. And it's like imagine if like I'm trying to think of a really popular like cartoon character or something. Like imagine if like
Bugs Bunny
Garfield
or Garfield, yeah.
You know, if the Garfield character or whatever wasn't actually like traditionally
Which
animated,
season
but
was it?
season 2, I think.
We've seen
Oh
them
my
all.
gosh, I know we have, but.
But yeah, it's like a really he's like he's like
Oh yes, he's on the truck.
yes
Yes, I know who you're talking about. Okay.
That reminds me of the way the character animated
Yes.
Huh. What
Yes.
was the
Do you
what was the
remember-
lesson the fable told?
I
me?
can't remember.
I can't remember, but I remember who you're talking. Isn't he purple or something like
Yes.
that? Yeah.
The purple or dark blue or
So
something.
he's
in
in
that
like one
range.
of those like ice cream truck, almost that size, that shape, but it's got a screen on it. He sits on the inside and he acts out that guy.
I'm starting to remember it now.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm starting to remember it. I can't believe
Okay.
you remembered that.
It took me a hot minute.
Yeah,
but-
it was a deep dive for me.
Crazy. Anyway, so that
Actually,
was
yeah.
a fun new software.
So
that we're gonna
yeah,
mess around with.
I'd like to get an animation because I know we've talked about doing some fun like why Jedi don't have dogs
Right.
and stuff like that. And I think it'd be fun to not just do a cartoon of it, but an animation of it.
That'd be
type
cool.
thing.
Maybe
So
we could do both too. We could
you
start as a web comic and evolve as we get better at it or
Totally.
something.
And I've been researching and I've been practicing drawing on Procreate and Fresco and
We should
I'm-
throw up some of your Procreate time lapses
Yeah.
on Instagram or Facebook.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
I was gonna say, After Effects actually has a thing. Oh man, I can't remember what it's called now. But you can basically make a 2D mesh over something and pin nodes and then animate just rastered 2D images. It's a little bit weird to work with because as you start like bending stuff, it'll just put like folds and stuff in because it treats it like a imagine like trying to fold a piece of paper, you get like that
Yeah.
ridge and stuff.
Right.
So if you don't want that, you have to know how to place things so that it won't distort and stuff like that. But
Are there
that's,
online classes you can take, just like a single
Yes.
class you can take for stuff like that?
well, yeah. So there's things that I'm sure that there's YouTube tutorials out
I'm
there,
sure
but
there
there's
is.
Lynda.com.
Lynda.com is going to be a resource that I can almost guarantee would have something. There is, I can't remember what it's called, but there's a suite of tutorials that my boss actually bought for the office. That has a bunch of things for
That can
different
be
stuff
my
like that in there.
payment for doing that ad promo thingy for you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Which actually, there's snow on the ground now, so we can do that.
Actually, technically, we could.
There's
Maybe
lots
on
of snow.
Monday.
But I wanted to talk
Yeah, do
too.
that.
So we have a drone at Rise of the Podcast here that we don't really incorporate in any of the footage we do here because it doesn't replace. But,
Wait, time,
You
it's
guys
right
be just
there.
hovering the drone in your.
Can
I've
you
always
imagine
wanted
how that
to.
would mess with the audio?
I wanted to use it on a Lego build or something like I don't know, just or like take a Lego build outside and get.
I was gonna
footage
say
of
we'd
it
have to
or-
do a Lego
Yeah.
build outside. How cool would it have been to have done the tall ships time lapse with
Oh,
the drone?
man,
Like,
you could have it flying around.
Yeah.
You could have it flying the drone. Then you could have just scared off the heckler,
sweet
or he
Lord.
would have never left. One of the two.
It's
You
the
could build
government.
Yeah, you could build a Hoth kit in the snow.
Right, that's true.
I'd like to do
We
that.
have a speeder
Oh, that's true, we
that's right,
do.
to build.
Two of them,
We
don't
have
we?
two of them. Yeah, I'm not going to race Kara though.
You beat me by like a fraction of a
You know what?
second.
The cold might give you an advantage.
That's true.
The cold never bothered me anyway.
Lies.
It is lies. I hate winter. Hate winter.
I was gonna say I thought you loved Frozen.
Frozen's okay. I mean, it's good. It's good. I do like Frozen.
Okay.
I haven't seen
Frozen's
Frozen
good.
2 yet. Frozen is a solidly just okay movie. It had a very popular song. It's an okay movie.
You've heard it here first.
Jeremy does love
Home Alone.
Tangled.
Tangled is good.
Tangled is really good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I left my tower. I love this song. I have a dream. It's the guy from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, the dude that played Robert.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
What
He's
else
funny.
is
Why
he
can't I
in?
remember his name?
Oh, what else is he in though? I just saw him recently. Oh,
He's
he's,
in a
an
lot.
Ant-Man,
Everybody Loves Raymond.
right?
Yeah.
He's an Ant-Man. He's the guy who
Yes, he is. I think he's one of the villains.
the new husband. No, the new husband.
The new husband.
Yeah, so Ant-Man's wife leaves him and then she remarries
Oh,
him.
that's right.
Is that him? It's been a while since I've seen Ant-Man.
I'm like 90% certain he's really tall, kind of curly hair, dark eyes. Yeah, him.
Okay.
What's
Yeah.
his name though? We can't think of
I
it.
can't think of his name. All the things that I have that would be able to connect to the internet are currently operating cameras.
Would you like me to look?
No.
Yeah, we can figure out.
Okay.
Fine.
So silly. We were talking about Game of Thrones at work today, and I just remembered it in 2 seconds flat, but I could not remember Peter Dinklage's character's name in Game of Thrones today. For at
Tyrion.
least 15 minutes.
Tyrion Lannister.
No, I know, but I'd be like bringing it up now just when
I
said
drink
it.
and I know things.
That's what I do. But I couldn't think of his character's name.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I would never have been able to tell you. So.
Well, so okay, here's what's funny. So the Mandalorian, right? Pedro Pascal.
¡Number 1 TV show in America. Whoop! It's true.
Okay, so
It is.
speaking of not being able to remember things, I was talking to a patient who I don't think he'd watched Mandalorian yet, but he was going to, and I was like, he asked who the main character was, and I was like, well, it's the Mandalorian played by Pedro Pascal. And he was like, who's that? And I was like, well, he's in Narcos. And he was like, I haven't seen that. And I was like, he's also in Game of Thrones. He was like, who was he in Game of Thrones? And I was like, Oberyn Martell? And he was like, and I was like,
The guy who found the
okay, I was like, the guy who found the mountain went, and and he was like,
takes his hands, he puts his thumb in both of his eyes and just.
so the mountain.
Well, thanks for that spoiler.
Hey,
Are you gonna watch Game
Hey.
of Thrones?
Probably,
Oh,
but not
really?
right now.
talking
just-
about blowing up heads makes this. We don't have to worry about Kappa.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. There were blood and guts everywhere, guys. Eyeballs are flying.
Well,
Brains.
like we started by complaining about the municipal procedure of removing snow. That's kid friendly for sure.
That proves it. Anyways, he finally got it when you said.
So he finally got it when I said like he was the guy who got his head squished by the mountain. But the mountain's actually like a world record holding bodybuilder of some sort.
Have you seen the heavy water commercial?
Yes.
It's hilarious.
I haven't seen that one.
Like heavy water or the
Okay.
what water was it?
It's like it looks like dumbbells, but it's full of water.
Yeah.
I thought it was called heavy water.
Was that what it's called? Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
heavy
it's
water
a-
is
it's
what they
a-
use to cool nuclear reactor.
Yeah, so there is an actual thing called heavy water,
Right.
Which is interesting in its own right. But the joke being that like you can why drink water when you can also lift weights and drink water,
funny,
basically. It's not a real product as far as I
He
know.
seems like a legit dude in real life.
Yeah, he seems really cool. He's got some really cool like strong records, and then he likes Minnesota, and so he came and blew the horn for
horn.
the Vikings. Yep. Anyways,
That's almost what it sounds like.
so I was talking about the drone,
Oh yes,
and
How
so
did we get into
I don't know
I don't know
blowing
either.
brains open?
because
and
you
stuff?
said the cold doesn't bother you.
Oh yeah, and then it got
Oh yeah, because you said use it
and
for
then
Lego
tangled,
builds.
and everybody
People that
loves
watch this
Raymond.
literally already know. They're like, Deborah, you know Raymond's got everything and I got nothing.
So
That's like one of the 3 impersonations I can sort of do.
there you go. I used to be very confident in my Zoidberg, but now I don't feel so confident.
I was gonna say you're James though. You're James.
Well, my James is fine.
Your James is on point.
That sounds like a euphemism, but moving on.
But so after the snowstorm, I took the drone out because the wind calmed down and the sun started to come out, and it was a really fun shoot, and it was really fun. So when we had a flood in the area in like 2012, and so like the mall parking lot had like 6 inches of water in it, and people were out like kayaking in the streets. And so for the blizzard, I'm out flying the drone, and it's that whole luck preparation meets whatever. And
Yep.
I'm flying, and there's a bunch of cross-country skiers going down the road. Then, like, whatever this weird, perfect Christmas wonderland thing. So, the skiers go by, and there's a guy walking his, like, Scotty dog. And it's like a little Christmas traffic jam. So then the skiers go by, and the guy waits for the skiers to go by with his dog. The dog behaves and then goes across the street. And it's just a really fun, cool, popular shot. And
We haven't that's just on Facebook.
Yep.
Isn't it?
Yeah, if you want to see that video, go to our Facebook page.
Yeah, check it out.
Facebook.com/Rise of the Podcast.
That's
and
right.
so I took some really cool drone shots and put it up to a music, and Chris color graded it. And
Remotely.
remotely. Well, you couldn't wait to see the footage. You're like, oh, I'll just crack in right now.
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
And then I was like, well, I might as well just edit this while I'm here. Yeah, I can't help myself sometimes.
Well, it works so well. Oh, granted, you were getting tons of artifacts from the video.
Oh yeah, but I like understanding that
Right.
that's just the transmission of the video, not the actual.
That's pretty fun. There you go, Chris. But I'm just being funny. We'll give a giveaway with you remoting into a stranger's computer helping him edit video.
Yep.
Just pray it's decent.
If this video gets
PG.
10,000 likes.
Right? Be careful what you wish for.
I was gonna say you don't know what kind of footage they're gonna have you edit.
Yeah, but they don't know how bad of a color grade job I do either.
Well, then you can screen grab it for the whatchamacallit.
Yeah.
For the show. We can just use it as a clip.
That's one of the things we'd sort of talked about was like just me like recording the entire process of editing an episode or something.
And yeah, because we've done a cool post about it. And blah, blah, blah. The data, production, compression. Some of our shoots, like one of the Lego builds started at 60 gigs and compressed all the way down to...
The Tantive started at like 700 something gigs and ended up being 61 megabytes.
Yeah, just an unfathomable shoot.
Yep.
A shoot.
Whoa. Shoot.
We're a bunch of Minnesotans up here.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you know?
Oh, hey now, you just calm down over there, you know.
I'm from Tennessee.
Yeah. So...
I was talking to somebody and I was using a southern. Oh, so Steve and Jane got their tractor, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I was. I know. I'm just thinking about.
Don't sound
accents.
more Midwestern than this. Like, well, Steve and Jane got their tractor, and they're out there plowing out the streets.
Okay, they own 80 acres, so
That
there's
is very Minnesotan.
I know it is. I'm
Midwestern.
sorry, but accents that made me think of it. I was in the thing there were little stupid funny sayings in the whole entire thing. And
that's true. In the tractor manual.
In the tractor manual. And so I was reading them off in like a real Southern accent, like don't touch the engine right after you turn it off because you'll burn, stuff like that.
There was these funny warnings though. They looked like
they were super
like
funny.
animated cartoon warnings.
I had Jane, my sister-in-law, rolling.
In
She
tears.
thought it was hilarious.
Make sure to place
great.
the engine in park or in gear before shutting down the transmission. or something.
Alternatively, he'd be like, make sure you place the engine into park before you put it into gear.
You just talked about this, so you know who Paul Newman is, right?
Yes.
And so I've
The
been
guy who
listening.
makes salad dressing.
Yes, I've been
Race car
listening
driver,
to
Actor.
Anthony Daniels'
He's all those things.
book, and I've been listening to it, and it's fantastic. I highly recommend it. I'm not like this isn't a big spoiler or anything, but one of the things that shocked me was so Paul Newman got interviewed in the 70s after Star Wars came out, and they're like asking him, and they're like, "Hey, how do you feel about not winning an Oscar?" And his reply was the saltiest thing I've ever heard. He goes, "In a world where people like the movie Star Wars, I don't care about winning an Oscar anymore."
Dang.
I was like, dang!
Hard takes from
Yes.
Paul Newman.
Wow.
Yes. I was like, damn, he's throwing some serious shade there, And I couldn't believe it because he's like a very philanthropical guy.
Yeah, so I talked about salad dressings. So he
Yes.
makes Newman's own salad
Right.
dressings. All of the profit, so like obviously there's the cost of operation. Everything beyond that is donated to charity.
Right.
Which is real nice.
And
And
I
it makes
have,
really good honey mustard.
I have beef. Is it mean if we talk smack about McDonald's?
I mean, no.
Well, they are cutting-
the McDonald's next to my house can go
Well,
and fall into
that's what I was going to say. But the one that was here was really frustrating me because we went to a play the other day, which was a really, really good
Last
play.
night.
Really good play.
Oh, okay.
And we went through the drive-thru at 11 o'clock, and I just wanted a holiday pie.
That's all I wanted to.
Oh,
And
they're
they're
the
like-
best. Okay,
Yeah,
McDonald's holiday pie. Get rid of the stupid apple pie.
Yeah,
I know,
holiday
and
pie
just
all
keep
year
holiday
round.
pie.
So I saw it was for sale finally, and I went to go get there, and it was like 11 o'clock at night or whatever, and I said, "Oh, can I please get 2 cheeseburgers and a holiday pie?" And the lady goes, "I'm sorry, sir. We're all out of holiday pies. It'll be 12 minutes if you want one." And I was like, "No, forget it."
I'd have been like, fire it up right now.
I
wait.
will.
Would
And
you
then,
have waited
and,
the 12
then
minutes?
sit right at the window where you pick up your food. Don't let them wave you forward.
David used to do
Yeah, I just camp out right there and be like, you guys did this,
that.
not
Yep.
me.
Yep.
Okay, after working fast food, if somebody had done that, I probably would have gone out there and slashed their car. Like, keyed the heck out of it. Like,
And then Wendy's is buying me a new car. Yay!
but I mean, it was during like lunch rushes. We would pull
Kara's
people
first
forward.
viral video. Drive-through manager freaks out on car. And you see it through the the cheesy drive-through camera. And
Yeah.
Kara's just raw, and then you see the door, going.
I just
She just
grab one of
dives
the
through
fryers and
into-
chuck it at the car.
I would have loved to have seen somebody
You
do
want
the.
fries? Take your fries.
I was reading an article on the internet about there's trends that they're so glad are dying off, and so YouTube banned those scary clown videos.
Yes.
But the stupid prank things are finally dying down because you had the milk dropping thing, you had the spitting in pop thing that went viral a little while ago, and then you had the stupid drive-through reversals where they'd hand
Yeah.
you your drink and they threw it back at the drive-through attendant.
If
That is the meanest, rudest thing. I
If
think
somebody
you
had
can
done
possibly
that
do.
to me, I would have taken that cup and as they drove
That's what
out,
I.
just
Anyways.
would've-
No, Kara would have
You know?
ripped the syrup hose out of the thing and taken a box of syrup and just, with
That stuff's like motor oil. It's so thick.
I mean, what is wrong with people that you think that's
open their
funny?
gas tank, glug, 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 glug,
Suck on that.
and just,
Oh
beat 'em up.
man, If anybody did that prank to me, I would have.
Now you got
I
to
kicked someone out for throwing a sandwich behind the counter.
Yeah,
and
somebody
hitting
threw a
me.
sandwich at Kara.
I kicked him out of the store.
I mean, I think that's justified.
Right? I was like, "Get out." He was like,
Why-
"I'm waiting for my sandwich." I was like, "Get out."
Why'd he throw a sandwich at you?
Yes, tell the story.
Okay, so I gotta remember this right. I'm pretty sure he was dating, or was previously dating one of the girls there, and they broke up. And he came in and he ordered a sandwich, and she made the sandwich. She made it fine, whatever. He freaked out, said, "Oh, there's too much mayo on this, whatever," and like they kind of got into a yelling argument. So I came around the corner.
That's why we can't live together, because you never like the amount of mayo I put in your sandwiches.
Right? I came,
Wendy's is a little heavy on mayo. I'm just going to say this now. Wendy's, you can ease off.
They're gonna find us and roast us on Twitter. I hope you
They
know.
probably will. Hey, we'll go viral.
Yeah.
So I came around the corner to see what was going on. I was a manager at this point, and at that exact moment, he decided to grab the sandwich and throw it at her. I happened to get in the way. And it was just mayo and crispy chicken and just gross.
That's a different part of the internet. No, I'm imagining like now instead it's like when you're diving in front to block the shot, the person's like, no.
Right? But he whipped it right back behind the counter. I mean, if he had missed the girl and me, it probably would have gone to like one of the fryers.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, could you
Well,
imagine?
then you got to dump the fryer.
Yeah, then you
Not
had
only-
to empty the oil, clean out the
But what
fryer.
about splash damage to
Yeah.
bystanders?
No, for real.
So-
like that's,
Hot
the
grease.
hot grease is no joke.
I
Right.
mean,
Eric burnt the crap out of his arm with a turkey fryer.
Eric. Yeah,
Like-
Eric did it. Super or two PJs.
What? No. I'm saying Eric Johnson. They were doing the cooking a turkey in the deep fryer thing, and it started the garage on fire. And he went to grab the fryer and pull it out of the thing, and he burnt the crap out of his arm.
When I worked at Super One frying donuts, they've got the tray, and then you set the other tray on top for raised donuts. I went to shovel them onto the prep table, and the under tray slid out, but the upper tray stayed there, and the tray just like comedian, it just went on my arm.
Oh, I've
Then
done
to,
that.
Like, shovel it off, and yeah, it burned me right in the arm.
I've done that with bacon trays at Wendy's.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a
Wendy's has
burn
good
right
bacon.
here.
That's
Just
true.
a huge old burn for the longest time.
Oh, I'm so
But
hungry
anyway,
now.
yeah, I got in the way. Mayo hit me. I was like, get out. Like I said, the guy was like, I'm away from my sandwich. I was like, no, you get out right now. You do not throw food in this store. Like, I freaked out on him. And
Yeah. No, I think completely justified.
Yeah. Right?
So, you know what else is justified?
He was a douche nugget.
Liking this video if you've made it this far into the video. You can't have not at least gotten something out of it. And of course, comment down below with any food related stories, or like we've talked about so many random things. If you hate the way that the plows in your neighborhood operate, let us know down in the comments below. Subscribe if you're not already. Ring the notification bell if you want to be notified every time we upload a video. Shows that you're supporting what we're doing. Makes us feel nice, and that's I think that's just good all around.
And if you don't have plows, what do you have that's unique to your area where you live? But
Rats,
the rats plow your streets.
of course.
Little mini shovels.
So, yes, all those things, and of course.
May the force be with you.